Okay, this is the last little section of it, and for this, you're gonna have to go on your study guide. You have to scroll all the way to the very, very last thing, because this is all the information you need to know about the Gadsden Purchase, and this is what is going to end our American expansion and settle the continental United States as we know it today. So this happens all the way in 1853, which is, if we do our math, five, 5 years after the end of the Mexican-American War. So, in 1853, Congress was looking to try to figure out where to build a transcontinental railroad to connect the east to the west. We'll talk more about transcontinental railroad when we get to it in the 1850s, but essentially it's just a railroad where you can hop on board a train on the east coast and after a couple days of riding it, make it all the way out to the west coast. I'm sure Lewis and Clark would be super angry to hear that you could do that. But anyway, they're looking to try to build a railroad through the southern portion of America, but unfortunately, there was a giant hole in the ground in Arizona that made it kind of tough to build a railroad through there. Hopefully, you guys are knowing what hole in the ground I'm talking about. It's the Grand Canyon. Yeah, can't build a railroad over it. So they found this one stretch of land down here, but Mexico had owned this whole portion of it because when we made the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, this border up here, that was our southernmost border, but America was looking down thinking, hey, let's get this piece too because that's a great place to build a railroad through it. So Congress ends up offering Mexico $10 million for this tiny little piece of land down here. And Mexico says, okay, sure. And bada bing, there's the deal. So that's pretty basically it with the Gadsden Purchase. No real drama or anything exciting with it. But the big thing is that this is going to complete the map of the United States. You can see Gadsden Purchase, tiny little $10 million snippet right here. But if you zoom out completely, and this is the last thing we're going to look at, is the continental United States is established. So you can see this brown area, if we think back all the way back to October, this is all the land that we got with the victory in the Revolutionary War. Then we had the War of 1812, which will get us this little piece of land here, and then we set up some borders with Great Britain out there. We'll eventually go and buy Florida from Spain. We have the Louisiana Purchase, this massive chunk right here for $15 million. And here's the ironic thing. This was all 15 million bucks, and that little piece was 10. Kind of interesting. Then you got the yellow piece, the Oregon Territory. We'll split it with Great Britain, and that'll become ours. We have the Texas Revolution, this blue part, and this pink is all the other lands we get with the Mexican-American War. So bada bing, there you go. There's America. The 48 states will eventually assemble in there. In the 1860s, we'll go and buy Alaska from Russia, and then late 1800s, we will make Hawaii the 50th state. We'll get there eventually, but as of now, you can see in 1853, we are established. And with that, that is your Mexican American War. Stay safe out there.